Welcome back for another video. Who are the best players to buy for Gameweek 23? Let's break it down simple and easy by position, looking at the best picks in the game for us to get this week. Projection data used is courtesy of FPL Review as always. Goalkeepers first, and Pickford just became the first keeper to pass 100 points this season, securing 3 points for Everton with a really good performance at Villa Park. He made 3 saves, he got 3 bonus points, 10 pointer for him. And this is a thing with the mid-table keepers, they do generally score far less goals against oppositions than the top teams do with top defences, and therefore when their team keeps a clean sheet like they did against Villa, they're significantly more likely to get bonus points because there's less likely to be goal or assist bonus points, if that makes sense. Raya's got 4 bonus points all season, Donnarumma's got 0, Pickford's got 11. And to repeat a point that I made a few weeks ago, the mid-table keepers also face significantly more shots, so more save points potential, and they do still have some clean sheet potential at mid-table, as opposed to like an Areola who does face a load of shots himself, but inevitably does concede as well usually. Everton's next 5 don't look too bad either. They've got 3 home games in 5. It's Leeds home, Brighton away, Fulham away, Bournemouth home and Man United home. Donnarumma tops the keeper projections for Gameweek 23 with Man City facing Wolves home. Wolves have actually shown significant improvement recently, defensively anyway. They're unbeaten in 5, and over the last 6 game weeks, they're 4th best defensively for XGC, though they have still struggled offensively. 6.36 expected goals over the last 6 ranks 4th worst in attack. Here's the defensive data courtesy of Scout over the last 6 game weeks then. So Liverpool are actually the top defence in the league for expected goals conceded. Only the 2 clean sheets in 6 though. Arsenal, Brentford and Everton have kept 3 clean sheets, which is joint most. Burnley and West Ham remain a team to target defensively. They're sitting as the bottom 2 over the last 6 still. And Palace as well, they've significantly fallen down to 3rd worst, which would line up with what we're seeing, in the headlines and transfer movement. Something to consider if you've got a Palace defender or Henderson, or maybe if you're looking at a team playing against Palace home or away and thinking that's a grey fixture. Right now it's not, that's a green fixture. There's a link below to become a Scout member, and you can access all the FPL tools in the members area, plus get 50% off. Sanchez just misses out making the table, but a double-digit return for him as well last game week. He could be worth the gamble given the unbelievable fixture run for Chelsea for only 4.9 mil. So he's got Palace first, and he's got West Ham, Wolves, Leeds and Burnley. I mean, it's hardly a gamble to be honest with you, but I just mean in the sense of, a new manager coming in and a very capable backup in Jurgensen. He was great against Brentford though, so it's definitely his spot to lose. Defenders next, and Spurs do have Burnley away next, but I wouldn't recommend investing in the Spurs defence. On that defence table before, Spurs were actually 6th best in the league over the last 6 game weeks for expected goals conceded, but the next 5 do have some pretty bad fixtures after Burnley, and they're just really not a team inspiring confidence right now, are they? Especially after that loss to West Ham. Tarkowski, however, fantastic option for, I think he's 5.5, 5.6 mil, and he's the 3rd top defender for projected points over the next 5, after Gabriel and Timber. A really strong entry point this week as well. He's got Leeds home next. He's been absolutely immense, Tarkowski, especially for defensive contributions. Last season he had the biggest success rate, only 56% success rate. This season he's hit DEFCON in 73% of the games he's played, which is 2nd most among defenders. Senesi's top with 13.05 per 90, then it's Tarkowski, then it's Richards, Anderson, Lacroix and Collins. Mukiele's been unbelievable, starting this season only 4 million, and even when he's been used in right back he's still been able to secure DEFCON. He's my favourite of the Sunderland defenders, though I think Alderete is also great for 0.3 million cheaper. Sunderland's next 5 are West Ham, Burnley, Arsenal, Liverpool and Fulham. So basically you just need a rotation for Gameweek 25 and 26 if you were going to buy a Sunderland defender. That's when they've got Arsenal and Liverpool. 3 benchings in 4 games for O'Reilly in all competitions. He's definitely not a buy. I've got him myself, and I think he's sort of a don't buy, don't sell this week for me. Like, you've got to play him in a fixture like Wolves home and just sort of hope for the best. Wouldn't be surprising if Pep does give Aït-Nouri the start though against his old team. Definitely looking like a sell in the very near future though. He's looked fatigued and he has made some costly mistakes recently. Nunez missed the Manchester derby with flu reportedly. And don't forget, there are European games on midweek. All the following teams are going to play before Gameweek 23, so the general advice here is to hold on to those transfers before you do anything, but certainly get an idea of what you're going to do first. So Man City have got a game midweek, Arsenal do, Spurs, Chelsea, Liverpool, Newcastle, Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest. Newcastle are home to Aston Villa next, and Hull just makes the table at the bottom there for that game. It just does seem like centre-backs are the way to go this season though, doesn't it? There's very few full-backs that are worth looking at. Hall, obviously, he's got that potential for assists, he's taking corners, but for every assist he gets, I just feel like over the season, Chow might have hit DEFCON 3 times, which is the equivalent of getting 2 assists. DEFCONs are just so much more predictable and a more reliable source of points. Hall's got 2 assists this season for 6 points. Chow has hit DEFCON 7 times for 14 points. Obviously, Hall's missed quite a few games with injury, 11 starts for him to Chow's 18, but the point stands. Lastly, looking at the super cheap defenders, there's actually 2 crazy enablers going down even cheaper than 4 million, Rodon and Reinildo. Rodon is 3.9 mil now. There isn't a load of games that you'd want to start him in, but he's always got that DEFCON potential. He's got Everton away Game Week 23, he's got Forest home in Game Week 25 and Sunderland home in Game Week 29. The other one is Reinildo, who's fallen all the way down to 3.8 mil, which is crazy for a starter. West Ham, Burnley, Fulham, Bournemouth, Leeds and Brighton in his next 8 game weeks. So for example, I'm looking at O'Reilly down to one of those 2 in a couple of game weeks and then maybe Bar up to Tavernier. Speaking of Tavernier, let's have a look at the midfielders next. So yeah, flavour of the week, Tavernier. You've probably seen his name around quite a bit because the models do love him because it's the corner, the free kick and probably the penalty duties. And when you add all of those up and the percentage that they happen per game on average, it does add up to good points potential. Now, you can sort of see it like a hidden buff. So let's say, I'm making the numbers up here, but let's say there's a 10% chance you get an assist off a corner, a 10% chance that you score off a direct free kick, and I don't know, 10% chance that your team wins a penalty. Add all those up and those are potential points per game on average over a season. It just doesn't feel like the right week to buy Tavernier though, unless you're making a combination transfer and you can bench him. I mean, it's not that bad to start him if you've got no choice, but as that table earlier showed, they are the best defence over the last 6. Lefay is basically a Tavernier light for 4.9 mil. He's on the score sheet last game, and post-match he said the following: massive win, but the fans singing my chant when I walked off at full time. Wow, they give me so much energy. I did miss that penalty against Brentford, and their reaction to that has given me so much. It's like a game. They give me something, and I try to give them something, and I think we can push each other. But yeah, Tavernier is the better pick on paper if you've got that 0.6 million. The top mids for Game Week 23 are Foden with 5.7 points, Saka 5.2, Semenyo 5.1. It's a little bit tricky to predict Pep's 11 now, the backline and the attackers actually. He's been a bit more predictable early in the season, but not recently. Cherky benched last game, Foden off at half time. In a nutshell, if you've got City attackers, start them for this one, then consider selling from Game Week 24. The Saka benching will definitely be a rare exception, and maybe that's lesson learned as well, failing to clinch the 3 points there. It's a lot to spend though, isn't it, on Saka when, you know, he could be benched 1 in every 6 games or so. That was his 3rd benching of the season. In my case, there aren't enough free transfers to think about swapping him out right now. It's Foden to Bruno Game Week 24 for me, and Enzo possibly also coming in for someone else, so Saka's low priority. You could make a case for Saka to Bruno Game Week 24, but the thing is, Arsenal have got Leeds away and Sunderland home Game Week 24 and 25, so it doesn't line up quite as nicely. It doesn't feel like the right week to buy Bruno either, despite how good he was in the Manchester derby. Arsenal away is the toughest fixture, period. The forgotten man in Dye is likely back for Game Week 23. He's 6.2 mil now. Congrats to him and Senegal for winning AFCON. Did any of you guys see the final? Absolutely crazy. Assuming that he does come straight into the 11 for Game Week 23, it would actually be on 4.6 projected points. Though I imagine they'll likely do some kind of parade back home first to celebrate. Maybe he does both, does that, then plays still. Enzo's on 3.9 points this week, same as Lefay and Ghana, interestingly. The fixtures aren't too good for Brentford now. They do have Forest home, but that's not a walk in the park. And then it's Villa, Newcastle and Arsenal, so I'd be really reluctant to buy Sharda now based off that. Let's move on to the forwards and then we'll discuss Thiago as well. Yeah, Thiago's second after Haaland this week. He's on 5.0 points and he's on 20.7 for the next 5 game weeks, which is comparable to Gordon, Semenyo, Tavernier and Sharda. So there is a case for keeping him if you've got him already, especially if he's paired with Haaland, because that gives you that flexibility in case you later want to sell him for another forward, because you might be able to do that in one move rather than making 2. Ekitike, of course, has been a huge frustration. A blank against Burnley, the worst team defensively this season for XGC, and obviously missed 2 games before that, and a blank home to Leeds before that. Given that he's 3rd or almost joint 2nd on the table, I would hold on to him for 1 more week, and then consider selling him when they've got Newcastle and Man City. Watkins is one player that I'm potentially looking at if I want to keep a front three. He's second only to Haaland for projected points over the next 5 game weeks, and perhaps Game Week 24 is the opportune point to swap, because Villa's run starts with Brentford home there, and then they've got Bournemouth, then Brighton, and then Leeds, and then Wolves. That's a really nice block of games. Despite Villa failing to score in their last 2 games, Watkins is still 4th in the entire league for expected goal involvement over the last 6 game weeks. Haaland is miles ahead this week. He's on 8.1 points against Wolves. Though Pepper's obviously remarked about wanting Marmish back as Haaland's knackered, he's only scored once in his last 7 games in all comps, and that was a penalty. Hopefully he starts against Wolves since he's on 8.1 projected points, assuming he does. Marmish is in the travelling squad for their Champions League game midweek. Nunes isn't. It's another one of those, isn't it? You just got to captain him and hope for the best in a fixture like that. Let us know in the comments what your transfer plans are. Hit subscribe if you're in the 30% of viewers that aren't subscribed already. Come join the other 70%. Thank you for watching. See you soon for the next one.